As a grade head, if you are approached by a student to change subjects, this is the process that you will take them through. You initially need to check whether or not the subject choice change that the student wants is possible. So we're going to use a real life example. This child, Jenna Solomon, has gone to Zainab to ask if she can change subjects. So what Zainab would do is open EdAdmin, go to the student records and search for Jenna. In the drop down over here, you would then go to the academic and activities to be able to see her subject choice. Jenna wants to change from tourism into history. And you can see from the subject choice that tourism is in choice B. What you would then do is you would go to academic management. Under academic management, you would make sure that you are on grade 10, make sure that you are on the student subject group allocation. Scroll to choice B. Here are all the choice B subjects, and you can see that history is not listed in that choice, and therefore she cannot take history in place of tourism. The second thing that you would need to check when looking at subject choice is the number of students in a class. So for example, in physics, we try and keep the numbers slightly lower because the physics lab is quite small. If you look at, let's look at visual art. Again, that's another one where we're going to reduce the number of students because there's physically not enough space for all of them in the art room. For a subject like drama or for music, the teacher in charge, so Deirdre in charge of music, Tara in charge of drama, they would need to give their approval before we move any further. So at that point, you as a grade head would contact. So let's say, for example, that this child was taking history and wanted to swap from history to music, then you would speak to Deirdre and say, would that be possible? In all likelihood, Deirdre might well say no because, this is her, she feels that the child doesn't have the aptitude for the subject or whatever the case may be. For a subject like visual art, I know that Andy's kind of general statement is that the student must produce a portfolio of work, but that children can be taught to draw, and so he's quite open to having new students. For EGD, if they're moving into EGD, you must remember that they must have physics and maths. So they can't do EGD without physics or maths. If you can't access the academic management section in EdAdmin because you don't have permission to, then once you've got the child's student record, once you've got their list of subjects, you can always just make use of this subject choice form, which I will share with all the grade heads as well. And from the subject choice form, you can see easily which subjects are grouped together in each choice. And so you can see here, group 5 is choice B, choice C, choice D. So in choice B, you can see that history is not listed, and so that child will not be able to change from tourism into history. Here's a second example. Cassidy Aransa wants to change from history to geography. Again, we go into EdAdmin, student records, we search for Cassidy. We are in the academic and activities drop down, and we find history. History is in choice D. So again, we're going to go to the academic management tab. We are here looking at students and group subject allocation, and we are in grade 10. We've scrolled down, here are the choice D subjects. So she's currently in history and she wants to take geography. That is possible because both subjects are in the same choice. When we look at the size, there are only 21 kids in Wendy's geography class, and so it is possible there is space, so we can do that switch from history to geography for this child.